My name is Grace. I have studied nursing in TMM Hospital in Tiruvalla, Kerala. Coincidentally, I had a guest at home the other day who has also studied nursing in TMM Hospital. Her name is Elsie Baby from Atlanta, Georgia. We began to talk about our experiences in TMM and beyond because both of us are grateful for the training we have received from TMM and the way God has led us in our life. Our conversation went on for hours. My daughter Johanna has decided to record some of our conversation, and here it is. Hi, Elsie Aunty.
Hi.
Good to see you after some time.
Very well. Very good to see you.
That too at my house here in Dallas. Welcome to Dallas.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I like Dallas. It's so good. Beautiful house.
I came to know that you have studied nursing in Tiruvalla Medical Mission.
Yes, I did.
Known as TMM Hospital in
Yes,
Kerala.
I did.
You know, that's where I have studied nursing too.
Oh, very good.
Which year have you studied?
I studied 1954 to 1958. And 59 is my born period.
Okay.
I married that year and I left.
That was way before I was even born.
I know.
But I would like to hear some of your experiences in TMM during those days.
Yeah.
As well as some of your life experiences, like your life journey, if
Yeah.
you would like to explain those to me.
Everybody asked me, why did you take nursing? In 1950s, nursing is supposed to be considered to be a main job. So nobody from a well-to-do family marry any nurse. And in our place, I am from North Kerala, Kunjamma Aunty, nobody. So, but my mom, we are 4 girls and 5 boys, and I have 9 children. So my mother wanted us to marry at the age of 18, 19. So when I was in 10th grade, my mother already started arranging marriage. So I thought, no, I don't want to get married. So only option I got was, I studied in a convent. I saw in nuns. So I have to become a nun. I cannot be, I'm not a Catholic. Then only option I got, become a nurse. Somehow I got the address and I went for nursing.
So you thought if you become a nurse,
Nobody would marry me.
Yeah, oh wow. That's interesting.
That is the only reason.
Things
I
have
didn't
changed
know.
a lot since then.
I didn't know that I have to study for nursing. I thought, I have never seen, I went to a hospital or I have seen a nurse in my life.
Oh yeah.
So what I thought to change the dressing and to give medicine, what to study.
So when you came to TMM, was it a surprise to you that
Oh yes.
So before we get into that, how developed the TMM hospital was there, and who began? I mean, little bit about your time.
The missionaries from English, Dr. Churchwell and his family, he came and he started that hospital. It was a small hospital at that time. Then they started training nurses. Those nurses, even without any high school education, they used to teach nurses. But after, I think 1952, they started nursing as a
I understand that it has been 75 years since the inception of the nursing school. They had a celebration, a platinum jubilee celebration recently.
So then I was in the 10th grade and I was in high school, and then they hired me. It was very small.
How many doctors and how many specialties were there?
To my knowledge, not that specialties, no ICU, CCU, nothing.
Who were the doctors?
The doctors, one Dr. George, one Dr. Epen, 2 male doctors and 2 lady doctors, Dr. Luke, Mary Luke and Mary Chaco.
Oh, Dr. Luke and Mary Chaco?
Yes.
I know both of them because
only 4 doctors.
they were there when I started nursing school in the
4 doctors, that's all.
Yeah, we used to call Dr. Luke as Lukamiti.
Oh yeah,
she was
mother-like. Both lady doctors were mother-like for us.
Okay. How many wards were there?
Wards supposed to be, I remember C ward, that was the general ward, medical surgical ward. Then one ABC. ABC means a special ward. the Nanajan ward. That was the special.
Oh yes, yes, I remember.
That's all. But then gynecologist. Yeah, like maternity ward.
Okay.
There was a labor room, and there was a operation theatre, then one pharmacy, one store, one X-ray. That's all they had.
Okay.
Yeah, very small. Yeah.
I remember reading the history of TMM as well as, having been a student there, I have heard at first the hospital was started by Dr. Diwan Bahadur.
Yeah.
Diwan Bahadur Dr. Verghese, right?
Yeah, something. Yeah.
I remember seeing that plaque there, and also Psalm 103 verse 3, because the missionaries had, that was their focus more than.
That was only a dispensary at that time. Dr. Churchward came, and all these missionaries from England. There were Sister Pitts, Sister Miller, Sister House, and Sister Barsley. These are the 4 missionary sisters.
Yes.
They were trained sisters. They used to teach us.
Yeah. Imagine how much sacrifice they have taken. The living conditions in Kerala at that time,
Yes.
were very limited facilities.
Yes. Nursing was not like today. They injected missionary mentality in our life. We serve the Lord. That was the theme. Serving the nursing is serving the Lord. That I like.
Yeah.
It was that mentality they introduced to us, and that still I thank God for that.
Although this is not so much of a planned formal interview,
Yeah.
I just like to know a few things from you. Is that okay if I ask you some more questions?
Sure.
So, who were your teachers, you said? The nursing teachers?
Nursing teachers, I told you, Sister Miller, Sister Pitts, and Sister House.
Barsley?
And Barsley.
Oh.
Barsley was a very committed, practical nursing. That she did that.
I have met Sister Barsley once when she visited TMM. She had left before I joined there as a student. But she visited there once, and she brought bookmark for all of us.
Yeah.
And I think I still have it somewhere.
They were missionary minded. Sacrificially, they served the Lord. They are not married. They left their country, came to our country.
Right, traveled across the globe.
They did a tremendous, marvelous job teaching the nurses.
Did you have a dome or a canteen?
Oh, yeah. That is. There was a dome. We used to sleep in the floor, one mat and a pillow. That was the first time I was sleeping in the floor with
no bed, no mattress.
No bed, no mattress. There was one room for night nurses. There's a bed. That's all. Otherwise, we used to sleep in the floor.
On the floor, yeah.
Then I wrote my parents. They bought me a mattress. I am the only one who had mattress. So that was, we didn't feel anything bad about that, Even the food from north and south, entirely different. In the food also, it was not, I had to suffer, I had to adjust with those things.
Yeah.
It was difficult in the beginning. First 3 months, we have to wear our mufti, our own dress. And the first 3 months was dusting and cleaning. That was the worst thing. I thought if it is nursing, I don't want nurse. I want to go back. Because we had to wash the patient's room, the toilet, bedpan, urinal. Oh, that was horrible.
Well, during my nursing period also, we had to, clean the bed and the locker, bedside locker.
Yeah.
And
After 3 months, the exam, when you pass, then you enter into first year nursing. Then it was really, I like.
You're really into the nursing program.
Yes.
So what was your nursing uniform back then?
Oh, that is a green sari.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. You know what? Our uniform was also green sari.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, you know what? I have kept a coffee mug for you because we had a reunion in 2016 in Dallas. So we. This color green is just in memory of our green sari uniform. And it says TMM over there.
Thank you.
This is my gift to you.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you.
So how was your daily routine?
Daily routine means we have spiritually we have a good foundation from there. Early morning prayer. Then we go to the ward, and in the ward, each ward, the night nurses give report, and after that the nurses will line up in the front of the ward.
Mm-hmm.
We used to sing and read the Bible and pray. Then only we will start.
Okay.
And also we had a Wednesday Bible study.
Mm-hmm.
In the dorm also, our homemate Auntie Mariama Kunjamma, I don't know whether you remember.
I do. She was there.
She was a very, very devoted sister, mother-like. She used to teach us, in the Bible. Good training, very good moral and physical and spiritual training. That I like.
So yes, we also had chapel service in the morning, and then chapel service in the afternoon also. Those services were broadcasted throughout the hospital.
The broadcasting system started when I was there, third year I think.
Okay.
Before that we didn't have any. There was an evangelist. He goes to ward by ward.
Yes, every patient's room and talk to
But the
them.
broadcast system started. Every morning 9 o'clock we had the chapel service. We used to sing, and that was spiritually I was really encouraged.
Yeah. Just as you have mentioned about Mariam Kunjamma,
Yes.
our hostel matron was S.A. Mary
Yes,
Kunjamma.
I heard.
She passed away in 2020.
Yeah.
She was such an influence in my spiritual life.
Oh, Mariam Kunjamma too.
Right.
She
In the
was an
morning also
inspiration.
we had family prayer in the hostel. And at night we had family prayer in the hostel.
Yeah.
And Wednesday we had Bible study. And Friday evening, I believe, we had intercessory prayer. Then Sunday evening we had again Bible study. So how has the nursing program impacted you?
Oh, as the years went by, my impression changed. I started loving the nursing because the impression I have from the missionary sisters, but I had in my mind when I was born again to serve the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned, and I thought that nursing is the best place to serve the Lord. So I started liking the nursing from the first year, end of first year. I thought nursing is the right place for me.
I can also the same thing.
Yeah.
I never wanted to be a nurse. I wanted to be a teacher, and it was difficult for me. Just as you have said, the first 3 months especially was very difficult for me. But once I started to learn the nursing, I especially about my own body systems and how to care for other people, and the values that I have learned, the ethical and the moral principles I have learned, those have definitely changed me. And I also began to like nursing from first year or the end of first year onwards.
No, the spiritual, mental and social aspect of nursing was the one. When I learned that, nursing is the noble profession.
Yes, absolutely.
Then I thought, yes, nursing is my profession.
Which year have you left TMM?
I left 1959, 1958, 1954 to 57 nursing and 1 year midwifery. After that 1 year bond.
Mm-hmm.
During that bond period, somehow my parents arranged marriage.
Yes,
so I had to leave.
All right.
1959 I left.
Did you work anywhere else in India?
No. When I married, my in-law said, we don't want any nurse in our family, no women work in the family, so that's it. I thought I will never work as a nurse. It was upsetted me, with all this struggle, I learned nursing, and I was the best student, and I got the prize and everything. Now here I became a housewife. So it was upsetting me, in those days. But my husband was an X-ray technician, so he wanted to go to North India. So he had an interview. So by the time I had a baby, and I went with him.
Okay.
As soon as we reached there, The medical officer saw me. Somebody told him that I am a nurse. He asked me, "You want to work?" I said, "Yes, I want to work." He said, "No interview, nothing. Go start." It was in a small city hospital in North India.
I have read somewhere that then you advanced in your education while you were in North India.
Well, I did bedside nursing only few years. After that, I was sent to Calcutta to study public health and hygiene with a scholarship 1 year. Then after that, I was promoted to the School of Nursing as a nurse instructor.
Very nice.
Yes.
It's really good to hear that a general nursing with just with a general nursing education from TMM, someone is teaching in a reputed nursing college in North India.
That is a blessing from TMM.
I can also say the same thing. Many of us who have studied from TMM, including myself, have advanced in our education, master's degree or nurse practitioners. And one of my classmates is an administrator, a facility administrator for a dialysis center here in town. And I know several of the TMMers have advanced in their education and in career.
No, I'm proud of TMM. I am proud of TMM Nursing School and TMM Hospital, wherever I had a very good foundation. I had a good spiritual foundation from my home, plus strong foundation from TMM. That helped me to move on as a nurse, and God helped me. Wherever I went, God.
Which year did you come to the US?
I came to US in 1976. Actually, I didn't want to come, but my husband...
What motivated you to come then?
That is also another story. I didn't want to get out of India. I want to serve as a sister tutor, but my husband...
he wanted to come.
Yeah.
Okay.
In those days, 1970s, there was no difficulty to come to US.
I see. You didn't have to take any exams?
I have to. After I came here, I had to. After I came here, I had to pass the state board exam.
Okay.
But that was not bad.
So during my time, I remember in the early 90s, there were no exam centers like it is now or anything, and I got married, and I also never had any desire to come to the US, never thought of it, never planned, never prepared, nothing. But after marriage, things have changed. We wanted to live together as a family, and so we thought, okay, if we come to the US, then we could. If we have a family visa, then we could live together and bring up the family. So I went to Sri Lanka to appear for the CGM Fitness and TOEFL exam, and it was all God's plan, and we came here in 1994. Since you came in 1976, how were things at that time? Was it difficult to find a job, or did you have to take an additional?
Yes, very difficult to find a job because foreign nurses. Plus, we have to have the state board exam. I was thinking I became a nurse instructor from there. I was in charge of the School of Nursing and came here all over again. I have to start from the bottom.
Did you have to?
I have to state board.
Okay.
I took the state board exam, but I failed in one subject, psychology. Psychology was not in that in our school.
Yes, I have heard that many nurses who came during those days had to. Take additional credits.
Many nurses. But I took a psychology class, and I had to take psychology separate, and I passed.
Okay. Which unit did you work as a nurse?
I wanted to work in a special unit. So I applied, I got a job. I want to work in ICU, CCU. In those days when I came from India, I had never seen ICU. There was no ICU. Even in TMM, there was no ICU.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Then I took ICU course and CCU course, and I worked in a #1 hospital.
What's the name of the hospital?
Yeah, Bethesda.
Bethesda, okay.
Bethesda is a famous hospital. God allowed me to work there. And there I advanced my nursing. Ever since almost 25 years I work as a CCU.
Oh wow! I also worked as a CC nurse and MIC nurse.
Yes.
And I that was my passion, cardiology.
Yes.
But it's
And
been
that
a
was
long
God's
time.
plan. And that was God's blessing. I always remember that was the blessing from TMM hospital. You know, because we never trained for CCU, ICU there. But
during my time, we had ICU, and there was a missionary nurse named Mary Lou Lukes from the US. She every year or every other year or something, she used to come to TMM and had like a 3-month training in cardiology nursing. That really helped me because I have learned basic EKG course in basic cardiology courses. That helped me a lot when I came here.
I had not seen ICU, CCU in India before I came to America, and I never taught that subject also in my nursing curriculum, even though I was teaching the nurses. But somehow God helped me. You know.
I want to ask you a personal question. Would that be okay?
Oh,
I have heard from one of your testimonies about your early years of marriage and how God molded you to be a strong woman of faith.
Yeah.
Could you tell me a little bit about it?
Sure. That is, whatever I desire in my life, God didn't give me. But whatever God gave me, that was the best. Number one, I didn't want to get married. Then when my parents was arranging marriage, since I wanted to serve the Lord, I prayed for an evangelist. But when I married, to tell you the truth, my husband was not even born again. He was from a brethren family. I thought all brethren are brethren. He didn't know how to pray either. Can you believe that? But God gave me, I studied the Bible. I studied the word of God. And I have seen my parents, how to be humble, how to be submissive wife. So that all helped me. I started crying the day one. When I heard that my husband is not born again, he was not a child of God. But God heard my cry also. Eventually he came. In the beginning, he was wife of Elsie baby, but
He was known as husband of Elsie baby those days.
Yes, but eventually I became the wife of baby Matthews. Thank God.
Yeah, I remember baby Matthew Uncle seeing him in the conference, IBF conference.
He was, and he changed. He had to totally change his life. He was a worldly person, and eating habits and all adornment and all those things. I was not trained. I was from a countryside village. I born and brought up. He was from
But the
city.
commitment of a Christian woman has changed a man
that helped me.
to be a good
I
person.
tell you, the foundation, strong foundation I have from my family, my parents, and from TMM hospital. That sustained me to stay strong in my marriage.
Very good. That's great to hear that. And when I was growing up in Kerala, I remember reading some of your articles in Christian publications. Apart from those articles, have you written any books?
Yes, I wrote book. I wrote 8 books. But reading and writing was an inborn talent for me. And I love Sahityam, you know.
The literature.
Journalism, literature and all. But when I was born again, I committed that talent to the Lord and asked Him to bless it and give to me. And my first article I wrote when I was 16 years old after my Sunday school class. The last book we studied was book of Esther. So I wrote an article at the age of 16 and I published in
Succession.
That year the Succession started.
Oh, okay.
And Emitarian sir published it without a correction. But I didn't want to put my name on that time. I put Sister in Christ. So my father read it and said, "Oh, good sister." But my older sister knew that it was written by me.
Yeah, yeah.
So my father asked me, why didn't you put your name? So that time, in my innocent mind, I said, I don't want to publish my name.
Right.
Only
Yeah.
God's name be glorified. And then my father said, no, you have to put your name. From then onwards, age of 16 until now, I didn't stop writing.
Right.
God has given me the reasons and
The inspiration to write books.
Yes.
Yeah.
Many
I know. I came across with your autobiography,
Yeah.
and I know that you have written a book about your daughter,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
who faced death courageously.
Yeah, God allowed me to pass through various trials, and that was inspired me to write articles. And God gave me, because I used to read the Bible, Genesis to Revelation, Genesis to Revelation. So
God gave you the talent, and you have used it well.
Yes.
That's how I want to say.
Yeah. I still use
Yeah,
it.
very
And,
nice.
Yeah.
But that's a very great
I
example
wrote
for us
about
to
8
follow.
books. Yeah.
Yes. Oh.
Finally, I wrote a book about virtuous woman. That how to raise your
It is
children. That
this
is-
one, isn't
yeah,
it?
that is the book.
I
Yeah.
have a couple of
Then
books, yeah.
my autobiography, just my testimony, how God dealt with me
Yes.
with the trials and so.
Yeah, I kind of looked through that, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to ask you these questions, because that really touched me. And certain things that I have to learn and practice in my life, then So, what would you like to tell the younger generation who would like to pursue nursing,
Yes.
either in Kerala or in US? Just about nursing, if somebody wants to go for
Yes.
nursing,
Yeah.
what advice would you like to give to them?
Yeah. I do believe, and that is the truth, that nursing is the noble profession. Through nursing, you can serve the Lord. Serving the patients and serving the Lord is the best place.
It's not simply about a job to
Not
make
as a
a living.
profession. Yeah. It is a good profession too.
Yes, yes.
It is just like a ladder, you can climb up to the
Yeah,
top.
we do need money to live,
Yes.
but not to live for
Yeah.
money.
But nursing, in those nurses, only nursing, bedside nursing. Now nursing has career,
Yes.
You can climb
Yeah.
up to the
I haven't done bedside nursing in 20 plus years.
Yes.
But there are so many different opportunities in
That
nursing.
is what I
Yes,
learned.
yes,
Through nursing, you can be a better mother, better sister, better child of God.
yes.
You name it. You name it. But you should have a heart of serving.
Right.
Nursing is a service to the Lord.
That's how it started at the
Yes.
first place with Florence
That is-
Nightingale. Yeah. Now my daughter has decided to study nursing,
Oh,
and I told her that it's not an easy job.
No,
it's
it is not
an
easy.
easy job, but you get to learn a lot of things in
yes.
life. First of all, you learn your own body systems, and then you will learn to deal with people from all walks of life, and managing your health needs and prioritizing, and learn to be organized. And more than anything, it's a good opportunity to.
Not only that, in the history of nursing, we studied Florence Nightingale.
Yes.
Her pledge. It is with me. Now, when I was a nurse instructor, during the capping ceremony, I used to recite the pledge. Oh, when you read that pledge, you will commit yourself for nursing.
And I hope the younger generation will,
Yes.
have that kind of commitment.
Yes.
Then, yes.
You need a commitment for nursing. Don't take nursing as a profession to make money. You can go up in the level up to the top level. Plus, each level you can serve the Lord.
Right.
Not only the bedside nurse. My daughter is a nurse, but she's a
I remember you were telling me one another time that she's working for JACO?
No, she is an inspector for nursing in the state and the federal government. She go to the nursing homes and check, what you call
Accreditation, national
Yes.
accreditation.
Yes.
Yes, awesome.
So That is how.
Right. Yeah, that's my advice to my daughter.
Yeah.
Aim high,
Yes.
try hard,
Yes.
trust in God, and do
That's
your best.
very
Do
good.
your best.
Yeah.
That's
That's it. Yeah.
Apart from this advice to the nurses, what would you like to tell the younger generation from your life experience?
Oh, yes. That I strongly believe that if you trust in the Lord, Proverbs chapter 3, 1 to 6, if you trust in the Lord and do not lean on your own understanding, if you trust the Lord, and whatever happens in your life, it is by the grace of God, by the will of God. If you are a child of God, you have to understand and you have to believe that nothing will happen without the knowledge and with the power of God. That is what God taught me. I was very proud in my life because I was a multi-talented girl. But after my marriage, I told you, the husband, I used to cry, why you gave me this man? Why? I used to pray, God told me, if you become good, he will be good. Why you are doing that?
You change first and then
I asked for an evangelist. He said, yes, in the parts, how you assemble a bike, how you assemble a car. So you make him an evangelist. The same thing happened. My life. 1 Peter chapter 3. I was very humble. I didn't ask him to do certain things. I told him this is what my plan, my foundation. And he saw my life and he turned his life.
Very good. You told me that you have written down some points. It's okay if it's okay
Yes.
for you to read them. Could
Sure.
you read them?
This is what will happen in your life. It is God's plan. God's plans are better than our plans. His ways are better than our ways. When we pass through trials and troubles, remember that God is trying to teach you something precious and use it for His glory. When you pass through painful situations, remember that God is molding you. And then Isaiah 41:10, be strong and courageous. Trust the past to God's mercy, the present to God's love, and the future to God's providence. That should be a principle. You should have a principle in your life. If you are a child of God, what you are? You are a sinner, and God saved you. It is a grace alone, faith alone, Christ alone. Nothing to boast about yourself.
Right.
Commit yourself to the Lord. Let God take care of you, no matter what.
And I also often think that God loved me enough
Yes.
to die on the cross, to send His Son to this world, to die on the cross of Calvary for my sins, forgave my sins, and gave me eternal life, and made me a child of God. How amazing it is.
See, I tell you, I didn't want to become a nurse. I became a nurse. So I could serve the Lord. And also, I came to America. I became a CCU nurse. My husband was a heart patient. He had 11 stents in his heart. Twice he had bypass surgery. Being a CCU nurse, I could take care of my husband.
Right.
Even his doctor's cardiologist used to tell him, oh, your wife is not only a wife, she is a good cardiology nurse. So I knew how to. So when God gave you something, God will train you before that.
And
So
it's
in
all
my
about
life,
how we are using our skills and our opportunities.
That is
I think about these missionaries who traveled across the globe. It's out of the love of God that
Yes.
they came to India and started many schools and many hospitals,
Yes.
and they cared about the education, healthcare, and the spiritual need of the people.
Yes.
That's why we got all this.
The only thing you have to trust in the Lord. No matter what difficult situation you have to pass through, if you are a child of God, let God take care of it. Trust in the
Thank
Lord.
you, Aunty. Thank you for the pearls of wisdom. Bible says that wisdom belongs to the age and understanding to the old in Job chapter 12 verse 12.
Yeah.
It's really good hearing from you and
Wisdom from above.
meeting up with another TMMer. I always enjoy talking to those who have studied in TMM
Oh, yes.
and
I'm also.
meeting up with them, and that's why we
Yes.
still get connected with each other
yeah.
and share our prayer matters and encourage others and help those who are in need. And also we still continue to be connected with the institution.
Yes.
And that
Yes.
is,
I'm so proud of you.
right. And I hope and pray that TMM will continue the legacy and the commitment of the founding missionaries.
Sure, I know.
And
Because the missionaries laid the foundation over there. That will never go. God will build upon it.
thank you for your visit,
Thank you.
Andy.
Thank
It has
you
been
so
such a
much.
pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so
And
much.
good, looking forward to see you again.
Oh, yes.
Elsie Aunty and I have visited one of her classmates who live nearby. Her name is Rachel. Then they called up another classmate of theirs. Her name is Kunjamma, and all three of them were talking about the songs they have learned in TMM, and they began to sing that song. That is Blessed Assurance, Jesus is Mine.
Jesus is mine. Oh, whatever fate, God be divine. Heir of salvation, purchased from God, born of His Spirit, washed in His blood. This is my story. This is my song. Praising my Savior all day long. This is my story. This is my song. Praising my Savior all the day long.
Amen.
Perfect vision, perfect delight, visions of rapture, thou best on my side, angels descending, free from above, echoes of mercy, whispers of love. This is my story, this is my song, praising my Savior all the day long. This is my story.